Hello and welcome back to Random Vids. So it's that time again that we talk about some Mario Kart. So about a week ago, we got announced to Wave 5 of Mario Kart. And man, Wave 5 has a lot of good tracks in it. A lot of tracks that I personally wanted or knew that was coming, or man, they just look so good. Honestly, I could consider Wave 5 the best wave so far in the Mario Kart Booster Course. I mean, we still have Wave 6 coming out at the end of the year, but I don't know. Wave 5 is looking to be the best so far. It's funny how up here is the 2022 tracks, and down here is the 2023 tracks. Anywho, I hope you enjoy this video, and now, I guess let's get on to my least favorite track in Wave 5, which is number 8, which is... So yeah, here at number 8 is, no surprise, Sunset Wild. Remember back in the original version where, the track was a kind of cool layout and stuff, but then every time you would pass the finish line, there would be an actual sunset that would start to form and appear. Well, many years later, they finally brought this track back in Mario Kart Tour, and they kept the sunset. And they finally brought it to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But when you reach the finish line, nothing happens. You can still see the sun perfectly, and yeah, the sun does not set anymore. That feature alone is what made Sunset Wild. Now it's just dusk the whole time. Not dusk, but the sun doesn't set anymore, so why call it Sunset Wild if they're not gonna do it? It's just such a weird thing to take out. Why would they take out the sunset? Now, a lot of these Wave 5 tracks are really good, but I feel like when it came to Sunset Wild, they were asleep. I mean, the track does look very nice and all, but I feel like out of all the GBA tracks they brought back, this is the one that got revamped the least. They just made the graphics look a little better so it fits on the Switch, which, I mean, it does look better than the one on Tour. But it's sad when even the Tour version has the sunset, but not this version. What the heck? Like, what happened? The Tour version has the sunset. The game that looks really ugly, it only has 2 laps, but that game still somehow knows how to do the sunset, but this game doesn't. That's concerning when one of the worst games ever knows how to do it, but the best Mario Kart of all time doesn't. So yeah, I'm just confused on why Nintendo removed that. Everyone is though, because that's what made Sunset Wild, Sunset Wild, the sun setting. But unfortunately, it for some reason doesn't happen in this version. Wave 5 could have been so perfect if they would have just fixed this. Now, we're gonna cross our fingers, we are gonna pray to the Nintendo gods that once Wave 6 comes out, they will fix this, just like they did with Coconut Mall, because remember, when Wave 1 came out, the cars didn't move in Coconut Mall, for some reason. Because, I mean, why make a track look beautiful? We're just gonna butcher it instead. So let's hope and pray that they end up, fixing the sunset for this track. We'll hope that's what they end up doing for Wave 6. I mean, even without the sunset, like I said, I just don't feel like it's nowhere near Ribbon Road and Cheeseland when we got the actual DLC. Those 2 courses are so much fun. This one, I mean, it's alright. Like, not saying all zany has to be better, but I don't know. It just feels like they kind of didn't do much with this track. They could have done a lot more with it, but it is what it is. It's still very beautiful. The music's catchy and all, but Man, this could have turned out so much better. I still like the track though. I think it's pretty good. Now let's move on to number 7, which is... So here at number 7 is Athens Dash. Man, this course looks pretty good. Like, you can tell they did their homework more when it came to this track, unlike, Sunset Wild. This track just looks really good now in Mario Kart 8. Before in Tour, obviously, it looked very Tourified, but man, look at the grass even. It looks so good. And that's saying a lot, because remember Wave 1? Well, we're in Wave 5, and the grass is just looking so good in Wave 5. I've seen a lot of the tracks at, like this one and LA Laps and stuff, and they all look so good, and Koopa Cape even too. Like, the grass is looking better and better. It's getting to the point where it looks like base game grass, like it honestly does. Maybe not quite there, but it's getting to the point where it's harder to tell that it's like... that it ain't quite base game, but I don't know, maybe it is base game at this point. I know, I'm talking a lot about the grass. Also, I like how there's just 2 blue shells that randomly came up trying to kill me. But man, this track just looks so cool with all the ruins and stuff and all that. But you might be saying, why is it so good even though it's only number 7? Okay, well, besides it looking really cool, I mean, there's nothing too much else, like, too different with it besides, like, hey, this is almost like a Rome-ish course. Come on now. The buildings kind of look a little bit like they could need some more work, but I mean, they don't look bad or anything. The half pipe is, like, even though this is lower on the list, I don't hate any track from Wave 5, including Sunset Wild. They're all fun. They're just ones I like better than others, and Athens Dash just feels a little more bland than some of the other tour tracks. Just a little bit, because, I mean, this track is still tons of fun, too. I was really hoping for Piranha Plant Cove in Wave 5, but because we got Squeaky Clean Sprint, we didn't get Piranha Plant Cove. So that means Wave 6. But man, this course, it's a good one. It's a good one. It is a good one for sure. And there's nothing else I really have to say about it. It's a good one. It has some good music, too, so yeah. Now let's move on to number 6, which is... So here at number 6 is Los Angeles Laps. I'm a North American type of guy, so that means my tracks are New York Minute, LA Laps, and Vancouver Velocity. And man, they did a good job with this track. It looks so good. Like, yeah, I know, some people I think might prefer Athens Dash over this track, but I feel like this track just gives you more to look at. Like, look how beautiful this is. The nice Ferris wheel in the background. You know the tour track's gotta have their Ferris wheel. This is that tour track of the wave. But I mean, just look at how beautiful it looks. They did a pretty good job with it. Like, the grass, like I said earlier, like, the grass looks really good in this track, too. I noticed it more in Athens Dash, but I mean, it still looks really good here, too. I like the cool stadium you fly over, which kind of makes you wonder, are they going to make a new baseball game soon? I hope they do, because the last one we got was on the Wii. Anywho, yeah, this is a little more of the flatter tracks. But I mean, Athens Dash was a little more flatter too. Sort of. But I feel like this track just gives you more to look at, which is why it's a little better than Athens Dash. Now, music, I feel like music is a really mixed bag. Some people really like this song, and some people really can't stand it. I'm pretty neutral to the song. I think it sounds pretty good, but like, it ain't my favorite or anything, but it sounds pretty good. All the laps feel really different too. Unlike tracks like Amsterdam Drift, where I feel like I'm driving on the same track all 3 laps for the most part. LA Laps actually feels like, you know, you're driving somewhere else. Not that you're driving somewhere else, but like, all the laps feel different is what I'm trying to say. And I mean, there are a lot of, each lap is Really fun to drive on too. Man, just look at that grass. It looks so good. Imagine if Nintendo actually went into like the Wave 1 tracks and fixed them. Now that would be cool. Will it happen? Probably not. But oh well. Fun track. Definitely a good one. So now let's move on to number 5, which is... So here at number 5, I believe we're at, is Daisy Cruiser. Man, what a fun track. It was definitely on my best list when we talked about the best Double Dash tracks, and it was definitely on the best list when we talked about the best Mario Kart 7 tracks as well. And lo and behold, it's finally in Mario Kart 8 and has the remake it deserves. These are the type of tracks that I wanted them to bring back. Tracks that have come back before and have been stuck on a console, like Daisy Cruiser for an example. Stuck in Mario Kart 7, not looking that well. Well, I mean, it looks alright, but man, you can't compete with this version. It looks so good now. The music is the only negative to this track, but that's just because I'm not the biggest fan of this song. The remake sounds good, but I mean, it's Daisy's Cruiser / Peach Beach song. Boo. Boring. But whatever. Like, look at the dining room scene. The tables still move. They didn't take that feature out, like many thought they would, because of how, you know, they took the sunset out of Sunset Wow. They thought they'd take the table sliding back and forth out of this track. Well, I'm pleased to announce that they still have that in this version, which is nice. They didn't butcher this track and they didn't make it look worse. It looks really good. It really does look really good. And I don't know what else to say. It's just such a fun track. It's not the best because I mean it is a little on the smaller side, but I mean, like I said before, bigger isn't always better. Like I'd take this any day over something. I'm trying to think of something big. A track that's like really big that I hate. I don't know. Animal Crossing, I guess. But nah, this track is a lot of fun. It's definitely a really good addition to Wave 5. Now let's move on to number 4, which is... So yeah, here at number 4 is Koopa Cave. I think we all kind of knew this track was going to be coming back. It was leaked in the banner leak, not really in the song leak, but I mean, if Nintendo would leak it that far back, I think we're pretty sure we're going to be getting this track. And man, this track looks really good. A lot better than the tour version, that's for sure. And the grass looks pretty good too. Not the best, but I mean, it still looks pretty good. And I think this track also looks better than the 7 version too, because like I said, the 7 version just really butchered this track. And they kind of kept it the same in Mario Kart Tour with not adding anything else cool or interesting to it. Just saying, hey, here's Koopa Cave, in case if any of you all were excited, here's Koopa Cave. And we're all like, yay, but it's the worst version. But now it's in Mario Kart 8, and man, it looks really good. I guess this is the most tourified looking track in my opinion in the Wave 5. I feel like every wave since like Wave 3 has their tourified tracks. Rock Mountain definitely looks the worst in Wave 3, and Mario Circuit probably in Wave 4. And I'd probably say Koopa Cave for Wave 5. At least we finally got the water music back, because in Mario Kart 7 it was just not there for some reason. Well, it's back now, so I'm glad it's back. And it sounds really good. Unfortunately, we still have this ugly tube where the water is just kind of, you know, in here. Instead of, you know, like the OG version where we have all these cool electric things. And I don't know why Nintendo did it like that, but whatever. We didn't get the electric things back. But I mean, because the course looks really good and the music sounds really good, I'd say this track is probably on par with the Wii version. They didn't butcher it more than it already was. They they fixed some things. Like they added these half pipes back, which is nice. We got the water music again, and the music, like I said, the music sounds pretty good. And the track is overall pretty good too. So it's on par with the Wii version, I'm gonna say. I think it's better than Torrent 7's, but I think it's gonna be on par with the Wii version. I still think they should have added the 2, but at least we got some anti-gravity in here, which is something Tour and 7 didn't do. I feel like it's kind of an odd place to add the anti-gravity, but okay. I just feel like there ain't really any big turns or twists or anything, but whatever, it works. So yeah, Cubicate, really fun track. So now let's move on to number 3, which is... So here at number 3 is Squeaky Clean Sprint. Man, what a fun track. This is a really good, brand new track that we got. And I mean, it was already leaked we'd be getting some sort of bathroom course, which I thought was kind of funny. But once we got this track, man, this track is just so much fun. It's full of a bunch of things too. You'll be going down a drain, you'll be in the sink, you'll be in the bathtub, you'll be riding around in all this soap area with the fan, you'll be gliding over a toilet. And man, they just added so much to this track, and it's just really good track. Next to Sky High Sunday, it's probably one of the best like brand new tracks that we got. Yoshi Island was alright and all, but it felt a little flat. And I like Sky High Sunday, so this track is like almost like on par with that track. Both tracks are really good. But man, I don't know, this track is just so much fun. You have those little bath bombs in here, then you have the item boxes and the coins just flowing down the drain, the wedding ring. It's just such a fun, goofy track. The only thing that I think is a little weak is the music. The music ain't the best. It's alright, and I've grown to like it a little more, but yeah, it just ain't my favorite. It's better than Yoshi Island, that's for sure. Hate that overrated, overplayed song, but at least this one is decent. Plus you can drive on this top area like I just did, and then you get blue shells flown at you. It's a treat. It is such a fun track. I'm glad we got this brand new track. It looks really nice. I'm wondering if it's going to end up in Mario Kart Tour eventually. I mean, it probably will. And all those cheeps going around, the sponges that you can drive on, which I never managed to drive on because I just always forget it's there. Then I just drive in the middle rather than toward the left or whatever that is. You can see the big door there, the palm tree, suitcases. The fan blows you actually a little bit. Like, see, I just got pushed there. The toilet, for some reason, sprues water out. Which I think is funny. You can see the mirror, and they're growing mushrooms, I guess, because I saw a mushroom in here. Band-aids, light bulbs, like, it goes on and on. It's such a good track. Not quite my favorite, but it's definitely a good one. So now let's move on to number 2, which is... So here at number 2 is Vancouver Velocity. Man, have I been dying to play this track for so long. Ever since Wave 3, like, I've been wanting Vancouver in, like, the worst way. Because it's like, oh, it looks like some sort of like winter track, so we'll probably get in Wave 3 with Merry Mountain, right? Wrong. So I figured, oh, we're not going to get in Wave 4, which we didn't. And I figured, oh, we're not going to get in Wave 5 either, we're going to get in Wave 6. But no, we got it in Wave 5. And look at this cool anti-gravity section that they added. It's just, it's so cool. This bridge section is so much fun. And overall, the track is just so cram-packed with so much stuff. It's just so much fun. At times, it can feel a little flat. But like I said before, it doesn't have to be all zany and like all zany and stuff to make it be like a really awesome track or anything. I'd take this track any day over something like Waluigi Pinball. Waluigi Pinball, you know, that overrated track that we don't talk about. This track is just, it's just so much fun. Probably one of the best probably the best tour track, I think, of all time. It's just so much fun. You gotta love this little fall section too with all the leaves. And man, they did a good job with the grass and stuff, so it's looking really good too. And of course, I didn't even talk about the music yet. Oh, the music. One of the best Mario Kart songs of all time, for sure. Mainly one of the reasons why I've been dying for Vancouver Velocity to return, because of the music. I just couldn't wait to hear a new song, I don't know what the word is, a remake to the song, that's what it is. And man, they did a good job with it. It sounds so good. Do I have any gripes with this track? Honestly, no, absolutely not. It's such a fun track, and it's just so good music. I've been wanting this track in Mario Kart 8 for a long time. And they delivered. It looks really well. I like the ice skating rink too. That's just random out of nowhere. But I mean, it looks good. It looks really good. I love the little Hammer Bro up there, and the Shy Guy skating from Sherbet Land. You got a little bit of everything. Got the Yoshis and Toads and the Shy Guys everywhere. I mean, nothing else I really have to say about this track. It's just so good. It's such a good track. Easily one of the best of Wave 5. And man, I've been talking a lot of good things about Vancouver. Just wait till we get to number 1. Which, I mean, I think you all know what track that is. But let's get to it anyway. Which, number 1 is... Of course, number 1 is going to be Moonview Highway. If you saw me about, I want to say, a year ago or so, when I predicted the Mario Kart 9 tracks, Moonview Highway was one of those tracks I was predicting for Mario Kart 9. But, man, we got it in Mario Kart 8 instead? Okay. Obviously, Sunset Wild is another track I predicted for Mario Kart 9, but unlike Sunset Wild, where they really butchered the track, this track looks really good. Like, goodness gracious, I don't know what to say. It just looks so beautiful now. And yeah, I know, we're not using the Mii characters anymore, because the Mii characters mean nothing, I guess, anymore, except for, like, Miitopia and Smash, maybe. But at least unlike other ones that were heavily focused on Mii characters, I'm looking at you, Coconut Mall, they didn't butcher the track at all. Coconut Mall really butchered its track in 7 and in 8 Deluxe. But at least Moonview Highway didn't butcher the track at all. Instead they figured, oh, we aren't using Mii characters anymore, well, that's okay, we'll just use something else that will work. Which I think it's dumb, they should use Mii characters, but whatever. This track just looks phenomenal. I mean, it's in Wave 5. Wave 5 really is starting to look a lot like base game now at this point. The lighting is really good, like, you got those bomb cars back. The only gripe I have with this track is that the cars do move a little slow, but that doesn't ruin this track at all for me. This is easily the best track in Wave 5. The music sounds really good too, like, wow, I didn't think they'd be doing, like, I didn't think it would sound this good, but it does. Both the inside and outside sound really good. They did a good job with this. The jazz is exactly what this, I guess, portion of the track needed. Because it sounds really good now with the jazz and stuff. It sounds amazing. And it looks amazing too. I can easily consider this the best track in Mario Kart's Wave 5. But overall, I like all the tracks we got in Wave 5. Even Sunset Wild, sure, it's butchered and it's boring, but I mean, it's still not bad. It's pretty fun and all. But man, Moonview Highway, I was not expecting this at all. We were expecting an SNES course, but no, we got Moonview Highway. And man, it looks really good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.